Welcome, my friends. This is a glorious day. I have been waiting for this day for 35 years. Today is the day I am going to finally really get to work on this car that my dad purchased in either 1967 or 1968. I have tried to do this job. My mom gave me this car 35 years ago. I have probably at least 6 or 8 times in my life said I was going to start on this project, and then something happened. Loss of a job, had to move, divorce, marriage, not in that order, but death of a family member illness. Something always happened that either sucked away my time or my money or my place to work on it. You've probably experienced that yourself, and then you put a cover over it and you say, well, I'll get back to this next year, and 5 years goes by. Anyway, this is probably my last shot at this. I'm not getting any younger, and my physical capabilities are declining, and I'm seeing this as probably my last shot. So anyway, let's get it uncovered. Let's do the walk around. Let me tell you the story, and we'll finally get started. Some of you probably already know what it is just from the silhouette under the cover, and maybe my shirt gave it away, but and I'm probably going to regret wearing really nice clean clothes to do this, because as I mentioned in another video, this car hasn't been uncovered in probably at least 10 years, maybe 12, maybe even longer, but I think it's been 10 or 12. Let me get the cover off of this, and let's start from the back, because that's how I want to. Any elastic that this cover once had is probably long gone. And let's see what we can see. Oh, she is filthy. No doubt a lot of dust got underneath of that. The antenna, I took the antenna off it when I covered it long ago. Oh God, the windows are open. I don't know whether that was a good idea or not. Oh, the antenna's poking up. All right, so this is what we've got. Hey, that's dusty. So, as you can probably tell, this is a Ford Mustang. This is a 1967 Ford Mustang. And I was almost, and you guys got to bear with me. My memory of this car, I was 10 or 11 years old when my dad bought this car, and I remember the story he told of it, and part of this is probably what the salesman told him. Part of it is what he told me. And you know, my dad was not a liar, but he was also kind of like me, not afraid to, you know, as an ex-girlfriend of mine used to say, not afraid to embroider the truth a little bit to make a story more fun to listen to. And some of it's going to be my bad memory, but I'm going to do the best I can. There's nobody for me to ask anymore. My dad passed away over 30 years ago. My mom passed away 10 or 12 years ago. And my older brother, he passed away 15 years ago. So we're dealing with my memory and my memory alone on this. As I said, I thought my dad bought this in '68 back in California. This is a California car originally purchased. I want to get the handheld camera and let's walk around this thing. I have a ring full of Ford keys. I've owned multiple Fords in my life and multiple Mustangs, so hopefully one of those will fit, but the windows are down, so that's not going to be a problem. But I want to look in the trunk. We're going to look under the hood, and yeah, let me get the camera in my hand. Okay, once again, I'm going to ask you to bear with me. I have switched cameras from my mirrorless Canon camera to my DJI action camera because it is the widest angle, and I don't have a lot of room in here on all sides of this. As I said, this is a 67 Ford Mustang, and these tires, these are the last tires my dad put on this car. And they look like it, don't they? They are in some sad shape. This car is what I would guess is commonly referred to these days as a survivor. My dad did not believe in modifying cars. He liked everything to be as stock as possible. There are some changes on it. We'll get into the interior further here in a bit, but let's walk the rest of the way around it and take a look at everything. It is in remarkably good condition for its age. My dad did, I think it was my dad, because my dad was into boats. My dad did have a trailer hitch put on this thing, and I actually pulled a boat that I owned with it one time. Not very far, but it was way too big of a boat to pull with something like this. Whether I leave that on there or not, I don't know. Unfortunately, a hole did have to be drilled in the bumper to put it on there. But, well, we'll see about leaving that on there, whether we do or not. And my dad put these little bumperettes on it. They just clamp on. I'm going to ditch those. And, yeah, pretty dusty. First thing I do after we look around it, I will probably blow as much of the dust off it as I can. And then the rest of it's just going to have to wait until we, until I get tires on it. And then I can roll it out and wash it. Notice somebody here tried to scratch a sticker off and really scored up that piece of glass. That was there for, I think that was there when my dad got the car. It's been there as long as I can remember it. Anyway, that's, and these things, these are just stuck on. They weren't factory in 67. I think my dad did that, but I'm not 100% certain. But anyway, let's start by looking in the trunk, because isn't that the way Vice Grip Garage does it? He likes to start in the trunk. Of course, I'm not well, I was going to say I'm not exactly on a trip of discovery here, but in a way I am. I worked on this car a lot when I was a kid in auto shop, and I will tell you some of the things of that. Oh God, I hit the trunk key on the first try. Honestly, I have not even tried these keys yet. So, here we got the trunk. We have a spare tire, a studded snow tire, because this car was last driven and used in Washington State. Holy cow, look at whatever this is. I don't have no idea what's in that. I think it originally came with beer in it. This car is solid. There is little or no rust in this car. Here's a can of Castrol GT Super Multigrade. This is probably a 35-year-old can of oil. Some rags, some funnels. Here's the original air cleaner cover. Makes me wonder what's going on. Oh, you know, the air cleaner. What's in here? The original carburetor on this car was a 4-barrel Autolite Holly. And it started having problems, and I couldn't figure it out. And my instructor in auto shop told me he believed the problem was that the Holly had a warped throttle body. So we took the Autolite Holly 4-barrel off, which, if I remember correctly, was 715 CFM. And I went out and got a 780, 735, something like that Holly, the dual feed, and I put that on, and it had a manual choke. And I believe the manual choke would not fit with the stock air cleaner, but it's making me wonder where the rest of the stock air cleaner is. I hope I still have it. Hope I didn't get rid of that somewhere along the line. Let's, that door must be locked. And we swapped out the stock knobs with these, because these you couldn't reach in with a coat hanger and open, and I can't remember who did that. But you can see we have some damage here. That's easily fixed or repaired. I'm betting all the parts for this car are still available. The original seats are in good condition. There's a license plate from 93 for Washington. That must be the last time it was actually driven. It's got the fold down back seat, and it's in really nice condition. Everything inside, headliner is in beautiful condition. Now, something is broken in this seat mount, and I think I stuck a block of wood under it, and I'm hoping the camera is showing this well. Inside of the car is in beautiful condition. There's a bunch of stuff in the glove box. My dad was Garland G. Bryant, and policy number insured from March to September of '93. I'm shocked that the owner's manual isn't in here. And there's some wiring laying down here. Not sure what that's for. I think at one point in time he had a some kind of an alarm put in it, and that might be what that's for. You got a crack in the dash here, and something funky going on with the dash pad here. That might just be years and the hardening of the material. But other than that, the dash pad looks to be in pretty good shape. Still fairly flexible. Does have a bit of warp to it. You can see there, that's not perfect. Not sure what happened there. Here's the heater and vent controls. They all seem to work okay. Yeah, the interior is in really nice shape. All right, let's get out and look under the hood. Doors fit nice. Look at how nice the doors fit. Got some dings and kind of little chips on the paint here. If I remember right, there was one dent back in the back here somewhere. Not over here. Here, there's a little ding or dent there. I'm not sure when and how that happened. It wasn't me, because I hardly ever drove this car. All right, let's look under the hood and see what we got. I'm interested to see what air cleaner's on it. I'm hoping it's the stock one. Nope, there's no air cleaner at all on it. That's frustrating. So this is a 335 horse, 390 cubic inch engine. And good, I'm glad there's no battery in it. Battery tray's a little bit rusty, but still pretty solid. And because this is a California car, it's got the smog pump on it. And yeah, believe it or not, in 1967, California required a smog pump on this car. And one of the biggest problems with the smog pump, as far as I was concerned with working on it as a kid, is it causes this pipe to run down here, and that makes it really, really hard to change the spark plugs on it. But this is what we've got. I wish I had found the original air cleaner. I'm wondering whatever happened to that. Geez, that's frustrating, because I don't remember ever seeing that floating around. That might be fun to find a replacement for at this stage of the game. I believe it was a standard Ford air cleaner bottom. I think the only thing special about the air cleaner, and it may be why this is the only part that got kept, was this chrome cover. And this chrome cover doesn't say anything on it. It doesn't say Ford or 390 on it. But I know this was the factory cover. Yeah, I'm not sure where the stock air cleaner body went to. Not in the car. And I say, I don't remember ever seeing that. So that might have got lost somewhere along the way. That's disappointing, but survivable. This cool and overflow bottle was added. Here is the stock bag. Oh boy, the stock bag for the wipers. It's as hard as a rock. These turn signals in the hood and these little like louvers, these were all functional. This car, from what I understand it, this car was basically, I hate it when people use that word, but this car is, for all practical purposes, would be a better term, a GTA 390. But my understanding of it is the person who ordered it from Ford And if I remember my story correctly, and if it was told to my dad, then to me truthfully, this car was one that was special ordered by Ford, or special ordered from Ford by the customer. The customer wanted a GTA 390, but he didn't want all the stripes and the trim and everything that went with it. It's a shame, because the car would be worth a lot more today if it did have all the 390 GTA 390 trim. But it's got the 335 horse 390 that has the 428 heads on it, and I have confirmed that in the past. It does have the 428 heads on it. It has the C6 automatic, and it has a 9-inch rear end. The rear differential ratio is 3-to-1, and I remember on more than one occasion my dad had this car well up over 100 miles an hour. So the car did go, and it did go really well. One of the reasons my mom didn't like riding in this car, because she said every time she got in the car with Dad, Dad scared her. So there is that. The factory antenna is down in there. Of course, I have no idea where the top ring and everything else to it has gone to. That probably isn't going to be too hard to get another one of. Maybe in the glove box, who knows. The air cleaner bothers me more than anything else. I kind of sort of remember ditching that air cleaner body at some point in time, but I'm kicking myself now because I do think that was me. Anyway, I think that is probably it for our walk around. I think the time has come for me to get it up on jack stands and to get the wheels off it and to get the wheels and those new tires to a tire shop and have tires put on it. And I did get the battery for it the other day, and I'm going to have to get the plugs out and get some oil in the cylinders and change the engine oil and things like that. But yeah, this is it. This is my project for the next, I don't know, what do you think? I'd be shocked if I have this where I want it to be at the amount that I can work on it and get money to work on it. I think it's probably going to take me a year. I'll have a lot of videos in that period of time, but that is my project car for the next year. And because it's a Survivor, there's not really a lot I can do to it. I'm not going to try and restore it. Just saw another dent here. I don't even remember this dent. Geez, I wonder if I did that. That's in here. That's really frustrating if I did. But this is a Survivor, so there's really not a lot I can do to it. I'm certainly not going to do any kind of resto mod because I want to keep it as stock as possible. So yeah, let me get it jacked up, get the wheels off it, and get those tires changed, and then we will come back and take a look at it once it's sitting on its feet again. So I think I'm going to end this video here. I did get it jacked up and get the wheels off it so I can get it out to get the tires off it. And as much as I want to see it sitting on its tires and wheels again, I think while the wheel's off, I should probably do wheel cylinders, brake hoses, and maybe even rear axle seals. And certainly take a look and maybe repack the front wheel bearings. That way I won't have to take the wheels off again, or hopefully I won't. Anyway, I'm going to post this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you enjoyed going on my walk around and my first look of this car in over a decade. And there'll be another video on this car soon. And thanks for watching. Bye for now.